What if I told you that being stuck on a deserted island for 4 years could make you a literary legend? Stay with me, because this true survival story is stranger than fiction, and by the end, you'll see why one man's worst nightmare became the adventure that changed storytelling forever. Picture this. It's February 1709, and you're a Scottish sailor named Alexander Selkirk. For the past 4 years, you've been completely alone on a tiny island off the coast of Chile. No people, no stores, no rescue, just you, some wild goats, and your own thoughts. But here's the twist. Alexander isn't stranded by accident. He actually asked to be left there. You see, back in 1704, Alexander was sailing on a privateering expedition. That's basically legal piracy if you're wondering. He gets into a massive fight with his captain about whether their ship is seaworthy. Alexander is convinced the vessel is falling apart and going to sink. The argument gets so heated that Alexander makes a bold demand. Just leave me on the next island we pass. I'd rather take my chances alone than drown with this rotting ship. The captain calls his bluff, and in September 1704, they dropped Alexander Selkirk on Maza Tierra, an uninhabited island in the Juan Fernandez archipelago, with just a musket, some gunpowder, a knife, a Bible, and his navigation tools. Now, imagine watching that ship sail away. The reality hits you like a wave. You're utterly, completely alone. The first few months are brutal. Alexander struggles with crushing loneliness and despair. He can hear rats scurrying around at night. He builds 2 huts from trees and grass, one for sleeping, one for cooking. He learns to hunt wild goats with his bare hands when his gunpowder runs out. He makes clothes from goat skins. He even tames some cats to keep the rats away. But something remarkable happens over those 4 years. Alexander doesn't just survive, he transforms. He becomes incredibly fit from all the running and climbing. He discovers an inner strength he never knew existed. He finds peace in solitude. He reads his Bible over and over. He sings psalms to keep his voice from disappearing completely. Then comes February 1st, 1709. Alexander spots 2 ships on the horizon. His heart races. Could this finally be a rescue? He lights signal fires and waves frantically from the beach. The ships approach cautiously. They're English privateers, the Duke and the Duchess. The crew is absolutely stunned by what they find. This wild-looking man, dressed entirely in goatskins, moving with the agility of a mountain goat himself, speaking English but seeming more comfortable in solitude than in civilization. The ship's captain, William Dampier, actually recognizes Alexander. They'd sailed together years before. He vouches for him, and Alexander Selkirk finally leaves his island prison after 1,581 days alone. But here's where the story gets even better. When Alexander returns to England, his tale spreads like wildfire. People are fascinated. A journalist named Richard Steele interviews him and publishes his account. Then, in 1719, a writer named Daniel Defoe adapted Alexander's incredible true story into the novel Robinson Crusoe. That novel becomes one of the most influential books ever written. It launches an entire genre of survival literature. Think about every castaway story you've ever enjoyed, from Swiss Family Robinson to Castaway with Tom Hanks, to Lost, to even The Martian. They all trace back to this one Scottish sailor who chose solitude over a sinking ship. Alexander Selkirk proved something profound. Humans are incredibly resilient. We can adapt to almost anything. We can find the strength we never knew we possessed. And sometimes our worst moments become our greatest stories. So the next time you feel isolated or face a challenge that seems impossible, remember Alexander Selkirk on his island. Remember that survival isn't just about making it through. It's about what you discover about yourself in the process. Thanks for being part of the History Sparks community today. Every day, we uncover these amazing human stories from history that remind us what we're capable of. If you enjoyed this journey to 1709, subscribe so you never miss another spark of inspiration from the past. And here's something to think about. Alexander's story survived because people told it, wrote it down, and shared it. What about your story? Have you thought about the adventures, the challenges, the moments that define your life? Your children and grandchildren will want to know these stories someday. The triumphs and the struggles, the funny moments and the brave decisions. These are treasures that only you can share. What small moment from your life would your family want to remember? What challenge did you overcome that could inspire someone you love? Start thinking about those stories. They matter more than you know. Actually, I'm considering creating a free guide just for History Spark subscribers. One that walks you through writing your family stories in a way that's meaningful and lasting. No fancy writing skills needed, just your memories and your voice. Would that be something you'd want? Drop a comment and let me know. Your stories deserve to be remembered.